So it looks like some players are coming back into the fold, some are going out of the fold, and some have been victims of a waiver. Let's talk about it. Yes, sir. What is going on, everybody? Lindy Endzone in the building for the touchdown, taking the lead for the Eagles, one video at a time and dropping buckets for my Dallas Mavericks. Y'all are new to the channel and like the diversity of content that I bring to the table as far as a fandom base goes. I would love to have you a part of the Endzone fam, and all you got to do to achieve that is hit the subscribe button. 200 subs is complete. Our next 10% is 300, but we're taking our baby steps one day at a time, and I'm just giving y'all the content that you deserve to the best of my ability. So hit that like button if I do a good enough job. It also assists with the algorithm of this platform, gets my content out there to further Bleeding Green Eagles fans and MFFLs alike for my Mavs. And hit the notification bell so y'all know when I drop my next piece. Another practice has been in the books for the Eagles. This past one was non-padded, and that's to be expected after a preseason game for one, and two, joint practices are coming up, first with the New England Patriots and the New York Jets to follow. But it doesn't leave without some changes. The Eagles have activated left tackle, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, LaRaven Clark, who was put on the PUP list for an Achilles tear. Much of the same injury that Brandon Brooks has been going through the last couple of times now. LaRaven is now activated, and he should be continuing to start wrapping up a rehabilitation process to get on the field. And, this serves pretty well so far. The 28-year-old, I believe he's 28, but, the former third-round pick in 2016 by the Colts, comes into the fold here for a offensive line that could use the depth, especially for the situation at the left tackle spot where, you guessed it, Andre Dillard getting injured again, being week to week with that. I think he also has a MCL sprain or some other ligament in his knee that has been sprained. And prior to that, he wasn't looking very well from a competition standpoint to Jordan Mailata. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise that we could be better off. With this situation with LaRaven Clark coming back, maybe he'll look better than Andre Dillard. He's already a more decorated veteran based on experience, and this could serve as a better stepping stone for depth when it comes to the left tackle spot for the Eagles. But that is not without some other news coming up. In a couple of days, the first wave of roster cuts come up. I believe teams start at 90. So the first wave of cuts, they have to take it down to 85. That is by 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on August 17th. So that comes in a couple of days. So the Eagles got some work to do. Unfortunately, the victims are tight end Caleb Wilson and running back turned wide receiver. Well, he was listed as a wide receiver on the unofficial depth chart. But that being, a shout out to Philly Notion, his favorite guy, AK-46, Adrian Killins, was a victim of waivers once again. I believe this is about the third time that Adrian Killins has been waived. Now, just because these guys are going to waivers, for how many times Adrian has been exposed, I can't imagine that he's going to be picked up by another team unless, they're in need due to injury. But nonetheless, yeah, I think this is about the third time that Adrian Killens has gone to waivers. So he's, as of right now, he's no longer on the team, as well as Caleb Wilson. It's a start for the Eagles getting their cuts down to about 85 in a couple of days. And then in other news, let's get into some more injury updates here. It has been said prior to practice that our 10th pick in the draft, Devonta Smith, after suffering that knee sprain, as we continue to knock on wood that the injuries don't happen to any other players, he has been upgraded from week to week to day. He was seen in practice working on some more route running drills, getting some cuts in there. He's looking pretty good. But of course, the timetable is still day to day. There's no rush to get him back, but it is a possibility that he could participate in the second preseason game against the New England Patriots. But of course, we got to be easy with him. Traded up in the draft to get this guy. Heisman winning wide receiver, Bama. We already know the deal by now. Got to make sure we take our time with him and hope that something else does not happen again. Outside of Devonta Smith, Isaac Seumalo is another one. He was week to week with a hamstring issue. He is now back as a full participant. As yesterday's practice when he started at left guard where he's supposed to be. That's great to see from him. As for other ones, Jannard Avery was back as a limited participant. He was dealing with a knee issue of his own. Jason Huntley has been added as day-to-day. He's got some sort of rib injury. And then, Kerryon Johnson didn't look very well. He didn't look very good in that preseason game against Pittsburgh. It seems that, according to the injury list here, there's still an evaluation going on with his knee. And I think it's the same knee that he tore his meniscus in. So, there's no timeline for him. And we were really hoping that he was going to wrap up the competition in terms of the running back spot with adding Jordan Howard and seeing those two guys go at it. But, it seems that this coaching staff and, Sirianni and Jamal Singleton, Shane Steichen, from an offensive standpoint, that they really like Jordan Howard. Him and Kenny Gainwell played pretty well in that preseason game, seeing highlights and then carrying the ball, pass protection, Jordan Howard laying out a blitzing linebacker. For a guy that had no offers to want to sign back to another team, the Eagles giving him his last chance and him understanding that, he's showing his worth. Like, he's not old. He's still only 26. Used to be a Pro Bowler, 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons for the Chicago Bears. I mean, the talent is still there. But, it's just from a consistency perspective. But, we'll see where that carries the Eagles. But, yeah, we've made our roster cuts. So we've made a couple roster cuts so far. Some people got upgraded. Some people got downgraded. And, hopefully we don't have any more negatives going into the joint practices with the New England Patriots. But let me know y'all's thoughts down in the comments, especially with the activation of LaRaven Clark and what that means for the left tackle position going forward. I'm going to get out of here for this one. This has been Lindy checking in with y'all once again. Fly Eagles fly, bleed green. MFFLs, go Mavs. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and I'll see you soon.